A one and a two and a chick-a-boom a chick.
So do you ever kick yourself when you hear about a previous client or maybe somebody that you know who didn't even think to call you for their project because, oh, I thought you did fill in the blank. I didn't know you did that. That happens to a lot of us. And one of the ways to combat that is to clearly articulate and explain what you do. That can be done on your website. That can be done in your communications to clients. It can be done in a lot of ways. And as I was thinking about that, I thought to myself, my lovely Remodelers on the Rise listeners, do they even know what I do, what I offer? Maybe they've heard little bits and pieces of it. And I thought that a podcast that really answered the question, so what exactly do you do, especially for a coach or a consultant like I am, where sometimes it can get a little murky. I just wanted to share in this podcast what I do and how I can help you. I'll give a quick background on who I am. I'll share with you all of the free resources that I offer. I'll share with you some of the paid resources and coaching that I offer. And hopefully at the end of this, you will have a better understanding of who I am and what I do. And also perhaps think about how you can apply this to your own business. Are you clearly explaining and articulating all of the different ways that you can help your clients? So we will get kicked off here with a little background about my story. So I wanted to share just a little bit about myself. And as I was kind of reviewing how I wrote up my story in the past, I've realized that I've kind of gotten away from sharing with new remodelers that I'm talking to, or just even in my content about my background. And I think part of that is because I'm kind of bored of talking about it. And it's a reminder for you that you may have had kind of story that you shared about who you are and what you're about, maybe just certain talking points that you've shared over and over again. And sometimes you just flat out tire of it and you skip over it or you shorten it up. And a good story that gives context about who you are and what you're about is something that the prospect that you're meeting with today has never heard. So I encourage you to capture your story and share that every chance you get, because we need to be differentiating ourselves. So a little bit about my story. Graduated from college, Western Michigan University, actually with a finance and a marketing dual major. And just out of college, right when I was getting ready to graduate, through another entrepreneurial thing I did, I got in contact with a guy named Jim Long, who ran a kitchen and bath remodeling business and a plumbing, heating, cooling business in beautiful Northville, Michigan. And we connected, and he was looking to create a new position in the business, somebody to take care of all of their marketing and advertising, somebody to manage, eventually their bath and kitchen showroom. And he caught me at just the right time. And I said, man, we need to talk. Played 18 holes of golf and ended up putting together a deal, an offer that worked for both of us. And that was my first job out of college. I worked there for 4 or 5 years and really got involved in understanding the remodeling business. I took care of their marketing and advertising. I started managing their showroom and their 4 bath and kitchen designers. I got involved in understanding the job costing and the financial end of things, how to read the P&L, how to improve the P&L and our job costing, and really just got deep into the remodeling side of things. And shortly after, when was it? We had our first child, and we were pregnant with our second. And I said, hey, honey, you're a stay-at-home mama. We don't have a lot of money in the bank to fall back on. It's funny because I'm recording this at home, and child number 3 just walked in whistling while I'm recording this. But we're not going to re-record it. We're just going to keep cruising. This is the crazy quarantine times, and I'm working from home. But I turned to my wife, Sarah, and I said, honey, you're a stay-at-home mama. We got 1 kid, another one on the way, crappy economy, not a lot of money in the bank to fall back on. This was 2008. But I want to quit this job and start my own business. And of course, she said, well, that sounds wonderful, honey. Let's do that. It was something like that. But we put the plan together, and I kind of weaned myself off of the remodeler I was working for, and kind of went down from 4 days to 3 days to 2 days to 1 days over a series of months. And then really started to work full time in my business. Shortly after I started my business, I said, I can't be all things to all people. I need to niche down. I need to pick a certain group of businesses to work with. And that's when I said, you know what? I really like the remodeling industry. I'm knowledgeable in it. I'm going to stick my flag in the ground and say, hey, I am a business coach. I am a marketing coach for remodelers. I started calling around to the home builder associations in Michigan, did my first talk for the Livingston County group, did a talk for the Lansing group, the Bay City group, the Kalamazoo group. And as I did that, started to pick up one by one remodeling clients where I was primarily helping them develop their marketing plan. That also parlayed into helping them with their sales process. And certainly over the years, I would say I've turned into just an overall business coach for remodelers. So I absolutely love this industry. I've gone very, very deep over the last 11, 12 years on working primarily and pretty much exclusively with folks that are doing kitchens and baths and additions, that type of work. And I'm a specialist at it. I love it. And I've gone very deep with, I don't even know how many remodelers I've worked with, over the years, but become a specialist at it. And I love it. And I love this industry. I love the people that are in this industry. You have to be a certain type of good person to be a really good remodeler. It's a hard business. You are in people's homes. There's so many unforeseens. You have to be a patient person, in order to work effectively with all of the different balls that you're juggling. And it takes really hard work. And there's just a lot of good people in this industry. And I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of them. So that's a little bit about my story. I could record that again and take out the little door slam that Calvin, our 8-year-old, did, but that's kind of that's me. And also, I guess it also ties into my story. I'm pretty real, pretty laid back. I like to have fun in my coaching. I like to have fun when I'm working with remodelers, and you probably hear that in my podcast as well. So that is my background. Next up, I'm going to share with you all of the free resources that I offer to my community of remodelers. So we're going to talk about the free resources that I make available to remodelers like yourself. And I approach my business from a standpoint of understanding that marketing is getting someone who has a need to know, like, and trust you. Getting someone who has a need to know, like, and trust you. That's what marketing is, and that's what your marketing should be doing as well. And I take a bit of a long road to building know, like, and trust. There's nothing I like more than maybe somebody hearing me speak at the International Builder Show or at the Remodeling Show or at a local event and getting on my email list or connecting with me on social media and just consuming my content, having that content help them actually implement some of what they've heard me teach. And then maybe it's 10 months later, 2 years later, 3 years later, they finally are at a point where they reach up their hand and say, hey, I need some additional coaching. I need some additional direction. How can you help me? Let's talk. I love that. I love the fact that there's a lot of remodelers out there who's never paid me a dime, but that I have been able to help. I've been able to improve their business, their work-life balance, their hopefully even life through the content and the coaching that I provide for free. I just like running a business that way. It's fun, it's interesting, and I just love that approach. So as such, I find myself over the years, and especially over the last year, just giving, and wanting to offer a lot of free resources, knowing that the more you give, the more it'll take care of itself over time, and you'll have a healthy business. So here's some of those free resources. Number one, Remodelers Community. If you go to Remodelers with an S, remodelerscommunity.com, this is a great free private Facebook group. There's over 800 quality remodelers in there. The level of conversation, the level of sharing, the ideas that are generated, the relationships that I see have been formed when somebody reaches out to somebody else, even via phone, and they set up a time to talk. There's true friendships that have happened over the years through this group, and I couldn't be more proud and happy with how it continues to just be a very professional, laid back, kind, wonderful community. So if you're a remodeler and you're not part of that yet, please go to remodelerscommunity.com and take advantage of that. Number 2, free resources. This is the podcast you're listening to, Remodelers on the Rise. I dusted off my podcast back in 2018, did some recordings, I think back in like 15, 16, took some time off from it, and have been regularly posting. There's just good ideas, inspiration, interviews that I do, and I hope that you do get a lot of value from it. If you're listening to this through a podcast app, make sure you click subscribe. And if I may be so bold as to ask a favor, please consider just leaving a review on whatever podcast app you use, especially if you're using Apple. And that just helps other people find it. It just helps the podcast be strong. So that's another free resource. Another one that we just launched, and I say we, my employee and marketing director, Bailey, and I launched here over the last quarter, is something called Remodelers Vault. Remodelers with an S, Vault, V-A-U-L-T, remodelersvault.com. If you go there, there's 2 stipulations. You need to be a remodeler, and you need to be part of the Remodelers Community Facebook group. If you have checked off both of those boxes, you fill out the little form, and you're going to get access to Remodelers Vault. There are 70 plus templates, resources, tools. You want to see some example contracts? You want to see some example pre-construction conference checklists, all kinds of different checklists, some different sales process tools, some different marketing tools, some different hiring and job description related tools. There's a lot of resources for me, and there's a lot of resources that a lot of other remodelers, primarily through Remodelers Community, have uploaded and shared. It is just a free, wonderful resource that's been helping a lot of remodelers just fine-tune, improve so much of their processes and systems. So that's called remodelersvault.com. And one other free resource that I'll mention is something called my Remodelers text message group. I share just a text message, something that's kind of personal on my mind, good reminders, something of inspiration, word of encouragement, a quick idea for your remodeling business. It's just a place that allows me to regularly kind of check in, nudge, encourage, help, and say hi via text. And you can join that. There's no cost to it. When you reply back to the text that I send, it actually comes directly to me, which gives us the opportunity to text back and forth, which I enjoy a lot. All you have to do is text JOIN, J-O-I-N, text JOIN to 516-219-9736. 516-219-9736. Text JOIN to that number, and you can be a part of that. So those are some of the free resources that you have. You'll also find some blog posts on my blog at remodelyourmarketing.com. I'm active on social media on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. And you'll see articles that I've written. If you go to Remodeling Magazine and you search Kyle Hunt, you'll see some articles that I write, hopefully, again, soon, regularly, but a lot of articles that I've written over the years. And then I suppose the last place is we upload videos on YouTube. There's a lot of the podcasts that you listen to that we capture via video as well. So you can also search for Kyle Hunt or Remodel Your Marketing on YouTube, and that's another free resource. Cool. So Remodelers Community, make sure you join that. Subscribe, maybe leave a comment for Remodelers on the Rise. You can join the text message club. Check out remodelersvault.com. It's just free and awesome. And then certainly follow and engage with me on all the different social media sites. So those are the free resources that I offer to wonderful remodelers like yourself. All right, and lastly here, we're going to talk about some paid resources. People, I got a wife and 4 children. I got to make some money doing this. I can't just give free. Got to buy that food and pay that mortgage, and not so much gas right now because we're not driving too much because of the quarantine. Definitely saving money on gas. But I offer some paid resources. So let me tell you about those. First one is called Remodelers Autopilot. remodelersAutopilot.com. You can get more information. This is $1 to try out for the first month, and then it's $125 a month thereafter. What this allows you to do is stay in touch with your most valuable marketing asset. All of those previous clients and prospects you probably have a bunch of their email addresses. Maybe you even have a MailChimp or a Constant Contact or some kind of email program set up, but you're not being consistent with reaching out to them. And what this allows you to do for a very affordable price is stay in touch with them consistently, month in and month out, have a professional email newsletter. Now we're offering a couple different options for you to choose from each month, kind of a real short one and a more kind of standard email newsletter look to it. It's all focused on kitchen and bath and that type of remodeling. And we've got the process down where we send you the options, you select the option. We take care of getting it all sent out. We help you get your email platform, all of your email list organized as part of the onboarding process. It is just a tremendous program. On top of that, there's 8 social media posts that you get to choose from and select, and we schedule those for you automatically on Facebook. There's a done for you social media post, done for email newsletter. There's also a Ask Kyle Anything call every month just for Remodelers Autopilot clients. This allows you to dial in, ask me questions. What's on your mind? Get a little bit of coaching as part of Remodelers Autopilot. It is a fantastic, affordable, excellent program. I'm super excited about it. We launched it officially about a year ago, and we've got a lot of remodelers all signed up for it and would love to add you as well. So if you go to remodelersAutopilot.com. In addition to that, there are some courses that I offer. One is called Remodel Your Marketing Plan. The other one is called Remodel Your Sales Process. If you go to the .com versions of each of those, remodelyourmarketingplan.com, remodelyoursalesprocess.com, you will see details on both. You can kind of call each of them a masterclass in each of those topics. The marketing plan course, the deliverable of that is after you go through and you listen to all of the recordings, you actively work on the action steps from each of the 8 sessions. At the end of that, you will have a well thought out, solid, prioritized, with smart goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound, with SMART goals, full marketing plan for your remodeling business tied in with a marketing budget. It's an excellent course, step by step through that very important part of your marketing of your business, which is your marketing plan. The other one deals with the sales process, and there's 8 sessions that are part of that. First one being how we handle the initial phone call with a new prospect. The second one digging into what is your process? What is the process of your remodeling that you can share with homeowners? Number 3, talking about the design and project development and how you charge for that. Number 4, talking about the in-person meeting. So it goes through step by step through developing a rock solid sales process for your remodeling business. So you can learn about both of those there. And then there's 2 other things that I offer. One is called Remodelers Circle, which is a mastermind group of non-compete remodelers. I have 6 of these groups that are active. And the only way that you can get into Remodelers Circle is if I have either you've participated in one of the marketing or sales process courses, so I've gotten to know you through that, or we've done one-on-one coaching together. That's kind of the ticket into an opportunity to join one of those groups. What these are, we meet, the virtual ones, we meet monthly via Zoom and do an hour-and-a-half meeting where we're digging into whatever's on everybody's minds. There's a lot of relationships that develop month in, month out with the other people in your group. And I'm there to encourage you on, reminding you on different topics that you need to be thinking about in your remodeling business. There's a lot of templates, tools, resources being shared. There's a lot of best practices being shared. And there's a lot of just flat out encouragement of each other. Hey, I thought 2 months ago you talked about you were going to let that person go. Why haven't you done that yet? Ooh, that's a mastermind group. That's some accountability, right? And then just the thought of, hey guys or gals, I'm struggling with this topic. How would you guys handle this? And to get the insight and wisdom from 6 to 8 other remodelers that are going through similar things as you or have been there, done that, is just invaluable. So that's called Remodelers Circle. And again, it's just kind of open to people that I've done some one-on-one coaching with. I like to have good knowledge of their business. So if you've done the courses with me or you've done one-on-one coaching, we can talk about that. And then the one-on-one coaching, what that looks like is just working one-on-one with me via Zoom. We use Dropbox to share files back and forth. At the end of every meeting, I'm creating action steps that I'm going to take on between now and our next meeting, action steps that you're going to take on between now and the next meeting. And there's really 3 areas that I do and focus the one-on-one coaching on. One is the marketing plan, helping you work through the marketing plan one-on-one. The sales process, which I've kind of shared a little bit about when we were talking about the course. And then the third area is your financials and just overall business strategy. In that area, we dig into studying your profit and loss statement, understanding your job costing, talking about your markup, and verifying where it needs to be. Just really having a good handle on what your financial side of the business needs to look like. And then also the business strategy. Are you looking to grow? How much are you looking to grow? How are we going to get from where we are to where you want to be? So each of those areas, the way you kind of look at that is little 3-month coaching agreements. So, we'll spend about 3 months really focused in on one-on-one coaching in each of those different areas. And then in addition to those 3 main areas, there's just other areas of the business, whether it's hiring and firing, whether it's other just general business coach, accountability, encouragement, just somebody to help walk you through the work-life balance and get that back. So that's it. That's kind of the paid resources side, and thus concludes this kind of off-the-wall podcast where I share about who I am, the free resources, and the paid resources that I offer to remodelers. I hope that's helpful for you to understand what I do, who I am, and I appreciate you listening. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and we will talk to you again soon. Please reach out anytime.